Good afternoon, I'm Karen Koza. Phillips C News is live at noon.
And I'm Vidya Rampal with sports.
A mother of two has been arrested in connection with the beating death of 4-year-old Janice Figaro, who died within hours of eating French fries at her home last month. According to police sources, the woman was detained on Wednesday and taken in for questioning. Little Janice died on the night of November 24th at the San Fernando General Hospital. Police were told that she became violently ill after eating the meal prepared by a female relative. Her autopsy, however, showed she died from a beating to the head and abdomen. Investigators believe the child was being abused for months. To the news now, the Port of Spain Corporation has been swearing in their alderman this morning. Delivering his first year-end address as mayor of the capital, His Worship Joel Martinez says he's looking to 2017 to improve Port of Spain. Our reporter Janine Brown was at the ceremony and joins us now. Good afternoon, Janine. What can you tell us?
Good afternoon, and of course, good afternoon to our viewers. As you just mentioned, of course, Mayor Joel Martinez just wrapped up his first year-end address, and he has given the assurance that he willingly accepts the mandate given by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley during their swearing-in ceremony just about 1 week ago to tackle the two major issues that the capital city faces, namely the issue of homelessness. As we know, the capital city records the highest number of homeless persons on the street, as well as to deal with the issue of vendors, particularly on Charlotte Street. You know, the mayor says these will be the top priority for him going into 2017, and he also gave the assurance that he is willing, or he stands ready to work with the media to help get the issues, to help make the public aware of the issues, as well as to come to a solution. So that's all I have for you now. Janine Brown reporting for C News Live. Back to studio.
Thank you, Janine. Well, the Police Service Social and Welfare Association says while they forgive PCA Director David West for his recent statements, they are still standing firm that he should step down. Speaking to Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago, both the current and former presidents said the damage done to the force over Mr. West's statement that the TTPS is the biggest gang in the country is irreversible.
Yes, we can't forgive Mr. West. But Mr. West can no longer function in that office. So he can take his forgiveness, pack his bag, and move on, because he has caused an injury to national security that is irreparable. You look at credibility as an issue that must be attached to police complaints authority. You look at independence as an issue. You look at confidence as an issue. And you look at in relation to what is your role in relation to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And when you can go on an international forum and make a statement that is injurious to the image of the police service, where we are at a time where the police service has a mandate to improve its image. The Police Complaints Authority also has a mandate to improve its image, and Mr. West should have reconciled his function in relation to that.
And recently elected President Michael Seals also continued to condemn Mr. West's words made 2 weeks ago, saying the words have far-reaching consequences.
The police service would never be able to forget that scar that Mr. David West has inflicted on it. So much so, at the end of the day, I think no one has thought about, listen, the policemen's family, their children, their mothers, their fathers, their daughters, as to how they felt when that statement was made.
To other news now, total wickedness. That's how the mother of murdered bank worker Shannon Banfield has described the people who are attempting to profit from her deceased daughter's memory by selling merchandise bearing her name. Sherry Ann Lopez said sellers on Facebook are advertising a baseball cap with praying hands symbol and the words "I am Shannon" for sale at $250 TT, claiming the proceeds are going to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. However, in an immediate response, the church has distanced itself from the sale, saying it was not related to them or their institution. Now, Shannon's mother also weighed in on the issue, saying unscrupulous people who would do anything for $1 were taking advantage of her traumatic experience. Last week, the Adventist Church had officially said it was setting up the Shannon Banfield Foundation, where donations would be used to help educate women to protect themselves. The body of the 20-year-old Republic Bank clerk was discovered at the IEM and Company store at Charlotte Street. Earlier this week, an employee named as Dale Cicheran was charged for her murder. You're watching the CNews Live Report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at CNews Live. Almost $3 million worth of items have been stolen from the Hyatt Regency's warehouse in Charleville. According to police, thieves made off with a large number of hotel fixtures such as televisions, lights, and paintings. The theft, which occurred sometime last week, was discovered last Saturday by a security guard after the Central Base complex was secured last Thursday. However, on Tuesday, police received information and officers went to areas in Morva, Beetham Gardens, and Port of Spain, where they arrested 6 suspects and also recovered 2 television sets. The nation's speed limit on the highway comes under review in January. That's the word from the Works and Transport Minister, who says he'll be putting it to the cabinet within a fortnight. However, Rohan Sananan refused to give details on whether the proposal may seek to increase the limit from 80 kilometers per hour. The plan to consider increasing the speed limit followed an online petition by lobby group Safe Drivers for Efficiency earlier this year for the speed limit to move from 80 to 120 kilometers per hour. In May, Minister Colm Imbert had also indicated the government was considering raising the speed limit to 100 kilometers per hour. TNT has lost 1/5 of its population through emigration. Now that's the key statistic coming out from the World Economic Forum, who said up to 360,000 people had chosen to live abroad. The data compiled by the Pew Research Center using 2015 data from the United Nations said 22% of the population were living outside of TNT. Jamaica is the only other Caribbean island on the list with 28% or over 1 million of its nationals living in another country. The countries of choice for emigration are America and the United Kingdom. Now, interestingly, the research said many who leave TNT are among the highly educated group. A national shutdown, that's a threat from the OWTU, who have warned if the gas price rises by 1 cent more, they will make good on their warning. Speaking ahead of this afternoon's meeting with Petrotrin and the Labour Ministry officials, President General Ansel Roger said a legal strike notice has already been prepared to serve on the state-owned energy company. On Wednesday, the OWTU staged a second protest outside the Finance Ministry over wage negotiations relating to the period 2014 to 2017 and 2015 to 2018.
And nepotism and all of those things, and that we were penalized by our negotiations not being settled for those reasons. If it is that he's continuing the charade, continuing the crusade of victimization set by the last government, well then we are going to respond.
The union says it will also continue its demonstrations outside the Labour Ministry office at St. James Street in San Fernando. At 4 p.m., the OWTU are also expected to meet for second-round talks with Labour and Petrotrin officials. Well, joining me live now on the phone to discuss this more is economist Indira Sajuan Ali. Good afternoon, Ms. Sajuan Ali. Tell us, this word strike hasn't been used by the union since 1995. Now, this is pretty significant for Ansel Roger to use it twice.
Yes, good afternoon and season's greetings to everyone. It is a worrying thing that this term has in fact been used, but I think it comes in the face of the union feeling a sense of a sense that the government is not involving them and including them in the kind of way that they would have hoped. I think they made it very clear when the government came into office that they were willing to sit at the table and work with government in the context of the difficult economic times in order to find best solutions to the problems that we have. And I feel that the government has not, in fact, taken that kind of opportunity. And so the union has pulled out what probably is its biggest arsenal in terms of the threat of strike. Now, this is a very difficult thing for country, if we look at it from a country perspective, because it's something that we simply can't afford. We can't afford it for many reasons, the most important being the fact that Petrotrin itself is not by no stretch of the imagination a company that is earning profits. even when prices are good, Petrotrin tends to be in a difficult circumstance. So that issues of productivity, issues of ensuring that the company becomes a profitable one, to me is a priority, and that really is the conversation that should be happening in the bigger sense, within which this whole issue of wage negotiations should be discussed.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Sajuan Ali. Now let's take a look at your weather forecast. And today there'll be cloud cover with some light to moderate showers in some areas and thunder showers in others. However, expect the weather to improve as night approaches. Gusty winds can be expected in the vicinity of showers or thunder showers.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago will be without Kevin Molino and Cornel Cato for a brace of international friendlies in Managua next week. Both are out due to club duty, but 2006 World Cup stars Cornel Glenn and Carlos Edwards are in. Here are some of the details of the squad.
Cornel Glenn and Carlos Edwards will be the figureheads in Tom St. Feet's squad as they take on Nicaragua next week. Glenn, along with US-based midfielder Kevan George, will meet up with the rest of the squad in Nicaragua, while the remaining players entered a residential camp on Tuesday and will train twice a day until the team departs.
We have not the full squad here because there's still some foreign-based players who are to arrive, but I'm very happy. We have about 19-20 players in camp. I think we have a mixed group of young players, talented players without experience in national team level, but also players who played a lot for the national team and very experienced players who have also experience abroad.
St. Feet says that a captain for the squad will be named closer to the matches, which are on December 27th and December 30th, after regular captain Kenwin Jones was left out of the Belgians' inaugural Soca Warriors selection. The team contains 3 goalkeepers, but is without regular number 1 John Michael Williams, who, along with other Central FC players, were kept away from the national team by their club. Club Sando's Akeem Roach, as well as Jablate's pair of Tyrone Charles and Nathan Lewis, were not in the coach's initial training squad, but St. Feet justifies their selections by saying all 3 caught his eye during recent TT Pro League matches. The team is laden with locally based professionals, 15 in total, while only 8 overseas pros have been selected, since regulars like Kevin Molino, Cornel Cato, Kaleem Highland, Sheldon Bato, Levi Garcia and Andre Boucard are all unavailable due to club commitments.
Now, Defence Force moved to within striking distance of third-place San Juan Jabloteh with a 2-0 victory over Club Sando in the TNT Pro League this week. Jabloteh slipped up with a draw against Mapao Stars, and the gap is now down to only 1 point. Here are some more details from Kent Fuentes.
At the Hazley Crawford Stadium, Club Sando made the journey north to battle the Defence Force and put the Army keeper into some early action off this free kick. The less said about the follow-up, the better. The Army retaliated, and had it not been for the brilliance of the Club Sando custodian, the Soldiers would have had the lead. Other than that, poor finishing let down the Tetron boys, as they were presented with several chances that they should have taken. Devon Jostling, usually clinical, was also to blame. But in the case of deja vu, Jostling was presented with a similar opportunity, and this time made no mistake in the 32nd minute for a half-time lead. Club Sando came up firing after the break, looking for the equalizer, while Josling's wastefulness continued at the opposite end. However, late in the game, the same player was on hand to take advantage of some poor Club Sando defending. His goal in the 86th minute, sealing a 2-0 victory for the Defence Force over Club Sando. In the second game between Jabloteh and Mapao Stars, it was the men in green, Jabloteh, that almost had the first goal. Mapao were awarded a free kick in the 35th minute. The ball touched back to Gerald Brito, and all he had to do was keep it low. 1-0 Mapao at the interval. But 10 minutes after the restart, Jabloteh leveled. A sleek passing move was finished off by Willis Plaza to earn Jabloteh a share of the points, with Mapao in a 1-1 draw. Kent Fuentes, C Sports.
That's your sports.
And that brings us to the end of the C News at noon. I'm Karen Koze-Phillip.
And I'm Video Ramphal.
Now remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, visit the C News website at ctvtt.com. Good afternoon.